Today, we're diving into some exciting leaks on Google's upcoming Pixel 9a, which is shaping up to be a very promising addition to Google's mid-range lineup. From battery life to camera improvements and a potentially earlier release date, there's a lot to cover. So if you're a fan of Google Pixel devices or just on the lookout for an affordable yet powerful smartphone, this one's for you. Starting off with the battery, one of the most crucial features for any smartphone user. According to the latest report, Google is stepping up its game with a hefty 5000 mAh battery for the Pixel 9a. Now, if we look back, the Pixel 8 it came with a 4500 mAh battery, which was decent, but clearly, Google sees the need to give us even more power. This 5000 mAh capacity should keep the Pixel 9 running strong throughout the day, reducing the need for constant recharging. It's a significant upgrade, addressing one of the biggest demands from users: longer battery life. And this isn't just about adding more mAh. It shows Google's focus on creating a reliable mid-range phone that can keep up with our busy routines, which often includes streaming, social media, gaming, and of course, those essential calls and messages. So if battery life has been a priority for you, the Pixel 9a might be worth waiting for. Now let's talk about the camera, always a major factor for Pixel fans. Interestingly, this leak suggests that the Pixel 9a will feature a 48 megapixel primary camera. Now, on paper, this might sound like a step down from the Pixel 8a's 64 megapixel sensor, but here's where things get interesting. The source claims that this new 48 megapixel sensor is the same one used in Google's higher-end Pixel 9 Pro Fold. This means we're likely looking at a camera with a larger sensor size and an impressive /1.7 aperture, which should result in enhanced low-light performance and overall image quality. Essentially, this camera sensor can capture more light and detail, making your nighttime photos and indoor shots look sharper and clearer, even if the megapixel count seems lower on paper. And the good news doesn't end there. Google is reportedly keeping the 13 megapixel ultra-wide camera from the Pixel 8a, which offers extra versatility for landscape shots, group photos, and those times you just want to fit more into the frame. So in terms of camera features, it sounds like Google is focusing on giving users quality over sheer megapixel count, and that's something any photography enthusiast can appreciate. One of the most surprising details from this leak is the rumored release date. If this report holds true, Google is planning to launch the Pixel 9a in mid-March. Now, if you follow Google's release cycles, you'll know that Pixel series phones usually come out later in the year. By moving up the launch to March, Google could be positioning the Pixel 9a to go head-to-head with other mid-range smartphones that typically launch in the spring. This shift aligns with Google's recent strategy of accelerating its product release cycles. We saw a similar approach with the earlier launch of the Pixel 9, and it seems like Google is now applying that to its series as well. An early release means Pixel fans won't have to wait as long, and also puts the Pixel 9a in a strong position to compete with other budget-friendly phones hitting the market around the same time. So with all this information, it seems Google is really putting thought into making the Pixel 9a a competitive mid-range device. The improved battery life is a huge plus, especially for users who are on their phones all day. And the camera, even though it might look like a downgrade in terms of megapixels, actually has the potential to deliver fantastic image quality, particularly in low light. That wraps up our rundown of the latest Pixel 9 leaks. Let me know in the comments what feature you're most excited about. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our updates on all the latest tech leaks and reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Now let's dive into the exciting showdown between two of the biggest heavyweights in the smartphone world: Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max and Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra. Both of these phones push the boundaries of mobile technology, offering cutting-edge features and exceptional performance. But which one takes the crown as the best big phone of 2024? Let's dive in and compare them side by side. Design. Starting with the design, both phones have distinct looks that reflect their brand identities. The iPhone 16 Pro Max stays true to Apple's iconic rectangular shape with flat sides and soft corners. This year, it features an even slimmer bezel, allowing for a larger 6.9-inch display. Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra, on the other hand, keeps its sleek, curved edges and integrates the ever-popular S Pen, a feature unique to Samsung's Ultra series. Size-wise, the differences are minimal. The iPhone 16 Pro Max measures 163mm at 77.6mm, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra is slightly shorter, but a bit wider at 162.3mm at 79mm. That extra width allows room for the S Pen, which gives Samsung an edge in productivity. Apple, however, introduces something new this year: the camera control button, a capacitive touch key that allows for zooming and other camera controls with a swipe. When it comes to color options, Apple sticks with its sophisticated muted tones: white, black, natural, and the new Desert Titanium. Samsung goes for more variety with options like titanium violet and yellow. And for those ordering through Samsung's website, you get access to exclusive colors like titanium blue and green. Display. Now, onto the display. Both phones deliver top-tier screen technology. The iPhone 16 Pro Max boasts a 6.9-inch OLED display with a buttery-smooth 120Hz refresh rate. As with the iPhone 15 Pro series, you also get the always-on display feature, which lowers the refresh rate to just 1 Hz when the phone is idle. Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra isn't far behind with its stunning 6.8-inch AMOLED display that also supports 120Hz refresh rates and an always-on feature. One advantage Samsung brings is an anti-reflective coating, making outdoor visibility much easier in bright sunlight, something the iPhone lacks. Both displays are breathtakingly vibrant, but there are subtle differences in color. The iPhone 16 Pro Max tends to lean towards warmer yellowish tones, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra has a cooler, more tealish hue. A standout feature for the iPhone 16 Pro Max is its ability to drop its brightness to just 1 nit for easier nighttime viewing, great for late-night scrolling. Performance. Now let's talk about what's under the hood. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is powered by Apple's latest A18 Pro chip, built on a second-generation 3nm process. This makes it incredibly efficient, with significant improvements in heat dissipation and sustained performance compared to its predecessor, the A17 Pro chip. Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra is no slouch either. It runs on the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip, custom-tuned for Galaxy devices. While the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 performs well, especially in gaming and graphics-intensive tasks, it tends to throttle a bit sooner than Apple's A18 Pro under extreme stress. In benchmark tests, the iPhone 16 Pro Max leads in CPU performance, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra takes the edge in 3D graphics, scoring slightly higher in peak performance. However, Apple's new chip excels in long-term sustained performance, so if you're planning on pushing your phone to its limits, the iPhone may have a slight edge. Camera next. Let's discuss one of the most critical aspects of any flagship phone: the cameras. The iPhone 16 Pro Max features a 48-megapixel main sensor paired with a new 48-megapixel ultra-wide sensor and a 12-megapixel telephoto lens with 5x optical zoom. Apple has also introduced a new lens coating to minimize lens flare, addressing a common complaint in previous models. On the flip side, Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra brings its camera game with a 200-megapixel main camera, a 50-megapixel zoom lens, a 10-megapixel telephoto camera with 3x zoom, and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide sensor. Samsung has packed in more megapixels, but remember, megapixels aren't everything. The iPhone tends to produce more natural-looking photos, whereas the Galaxy S24 Ultra sometimes leans into oversaturation, delivering more vibrant images. In low-light photography, both phones perform exceptionally well, but Samsung's larger sensor can capture more detail in some scenarios. For video, the iPhone takes the crown with its 4K recording at 120 frames per second, ideal for capturing stunning slow-motion footage. While Samsung's camera app offers tons of customization, Apple's new camera control button provides a more intuitive experience for videographers. Battery life and charging. In terms of battery life, the iPhone 16 Pro Max packs a 4,685 mAh battery, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra edges it out with a 5,000 mAh battery. Both phones are more than capable of lasting through a day of heavy use, but Samsung's slightly larger battery may give it a slight advantage. When it comes to charging, Samsung takes the lead. The Galaxy S24 Ultra supports 45-watt wired charging compared to the iPhone's 20-watt charging speed. Samsung also has reverse wireless charging, which allows you to charge other devices like earbuds on the back of your phone, something Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max doesn't offer. Software. Lastly, let's compare software. Both iOS and One UI are polished, mature operating systems, but they offer different user experiences. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is a fantastic choice. But if you're looking for more customization options, better charging speeds, and love the idea of an S Pen, Galaxy S24 Ultra might be the perfect phone for you. Ultimately, both of these phones are top-tier devices with a ton to offer. Whichever one you choose, you're getting a powerful, feature-packed smartphone that will keep you ahead of the curve in 2024.